Okay, here we are. Hey, Chidarin. Alrighty. Things look good, except for the fact that we are in a POV moment and I'm blocking the text, so goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Hi, Bear. Okay, let's go. So, wait, do we have voice for this or do I have to read it? No, I have to read it. They're referred to as retellings in the field of children's literature. My mother tells me as I sit atop her lap. I look down on the scene of me as a small child, my mother reading a picture book to me. Hey Plato, hi. I'm aware that it's a dream, perhaps a lucid dream. We've finished reading Mary's Child from Grimm's fairy tales. My mother is explaining the conventions of children's literature to me. I already knew the story, and I'd pointed out to her that the version I'd heard was different to the one she just read. She tells me that there were sometimes horrible, gruesome parts in old fairy tales, so people changed them to be less scary. My younger self wonders whether it's wrong to change the original story and turn it into something else. She tells me that it's because the way we approach stories has changed. In the past, things that we would find cruel today were considered normal. A retelling isn't really about altering the story to be something else. It's more like adorning it with flowers to make it all the sweeter. She taught me that sometimes lies can be a kindness. Ooh, that's a slippery slope. But I don't know if changing a story, or some details of the story, is a lie necessarily. But drawing that conclusion. Ooh, okay. Okay. I don't know if there's more text here. Because the thingy has moved, but I don't see more text, so I don't know. And that's probably why I couldn't tell my Amitia the truth. The stories used to be about teaching kids a lesson and not to entertain. I just got Hiver. Yeah, I guess also the stories are to not necessarily teach a lesson, but to instill fear of certain things so that they won't do it. Right? But it's maybe like a little, like it's taken to certain extents that maybe you don't need to, traumatize kids with such gruesome details. Like, in the Cinderella story, the evil stepsisters cutting their heels and their toes in order to fit into the slippers. I don't know if that achieves that much, aside from like really shock value. Adjusting the story to not tell that detail, but still remaining true to the idea that what the sisters were doing and generally how Cinderella was treated and lying about things is bad, is still staying true to what the story wanted to tell you, just like let go a bit of the gruesomeness, So is that a lie? I don't know. Chatbox isn't working on stream. Oh, wow. Okay. What do I do about that, though? Oof. Let me see. Let's do a shutdown when it's not visible. And we switch just a second to this and switch back. And yeah. Or refresh cache, that also can work. Okay. Let's see. There we are. There we are. Stream elements, I don't know. It's never happened like that before. Yay! Alright, so that's why I couldn't tell my Amitia the truth. Even though I knew she sought the truth about all else, I chose to lie to her. And because of that little white lie back at the end of spring, she's been suffering ever since. I once thought I wanted the truth too. Then I learned of my mother's betrayal, and a part of me died inside. That's the excuse I give as to why I'm crying as I watch myself sit atop her lap in happier times. I should have trusted my Amitie. I should have trusted Suo Shirahane. I guess back when those fairy tales were written, poor choices could mean the difference between life and death. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, you can see it that way. I needn't have feared that I would be betrayed again. She would still have been there for me, even if I told her the truth. The whispered words echo strangely within the dream space. I watch as my mother, arms still around my younger self, turns sluggishly toward me. Slowly but steadily, her head turns until I can see her face. But though her lips wear a gentle smile, her expression is terrifying, and I open my mouth wide and scream. Yet still she smiles. When my eyes meet hers, the fear jolts me awake. Above my head is an unfamiliar ceiling made from planks of wood. Dream and reality mingle confusingly for a moment, but eventually I remember where I am. The bed I used to sleep in. After that, I planned to make my exit, but Sur refused to let go of my hand, and I ended up staying over in her room. I murmur to myself as I stare up at the wooden base of the bed above me. The room is so still and silent that I could easily believe everyone else in the world has died. It's like being inside the Giorgio de... Chirico? I don't know how to read that. It said Italian. A painting. I feel like I'm the lone person left behind in a strange, unfamiliar town. Sua's voice comes to me from the bed above, blowing away the silence that has been dancing around me like dust. The fear that has encased my heart like frost melts away too, and I call up softly to tell her I'm fine. My mother said that white lies do no harm. But my white lie hurt me irreparably, and it hurt Suo too. My mother betrayed my father, and she abandoned me. 今までの自分とけじめをつけたい。明日、一日君の時間をくれないか? Alright, we're back to regular mode, which means I can be here again. So, after agreeing to Mayuri's request the previous night, I'm now following her down the path that leads towards town. Or rather, all of us are. Although it's the Sabbath, it would probably raise suspicions if we all left the dorms at the same time. So each pair of Amitia partners slipped out of their rooms at different times and met at the start of the little path that leads to the secret lake. From there, we set out with Mayuri leading the way to our destination. Oh, that's such a pretty view. Wait, can't I can see it. Yeah. Super pretty. A strange tension hangs over us as we tread the snowy path, stifling any urge to make conversation. Even Ichigo, who's usually the first to break a silence, remains quiet, her concentration focused on her feet. I gaze at Mayuri's back, then look over my shoulder at the line marching behind me. Rika-san has her serious gaze fixed straight ahead, while the twins are walking along with their heads down. Takasaki-san is gripping the handles of her Amitia's wheelchair, taking care to avoid any stones that may lie hidden by the snow. Oh, I disappeared, yes, frick. I disappeared. I figured out why I disappeared. It's because when I want to make the dialogue go away just to see this, I press space. But if I'm not focused on the window with the novel, and the last thing that I touched is my camera in OBS, I actually am disabling my camera when I press space. So I have to be careful about that, sorry. Yeah, thank you for telling me. I love seeing this path in winter. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love all the winter scenery in this game. It's really, it's made for my heart. For my winter girl heart. I'm focused on the window and I'm pressing space. Okay, so I'm still there. Everything's fine. I mean, yeah, it does achieve that purpose, doesn't it? That I'm showing more of the scenery. Okay. And in her wheelchair, Erika-san is resting her hands lightly on the hand rims. Her gaze is directed up into the air and she's staring like she's spotted a cryptid hidden in the background of a photo as she mulls something over. Her sudden vocalization makes me jump and we all stop in our tracks for a moment.
それで向かっている場所ってのにはあとどれくらいで着くんだ？だいたい1時間と少しってところかな。雪道を延々歩かせて悪いとは思うけれど。そいつは別に構わない。歩こうにも足が不自由でね。押してもらっているだけだからな。
It's probably quite the workout for Chidori to push the wheelchair in the snow. Right? I can't imagine that being easy. Mayuri looks really cute in her whole winter getup.
で、向かっている場所ってのが、お前がずっと隠れていたってアジトなんだろ?
Mayuri looks guilty beneath Erika-san's sharp stare, and she seems to be struggling to find the words to respond with.
まさか、こんなに近い場所に悪党のねぐらがあるなんてな。お前、白羽がどんな気持ちで待ってたのか少しも考えなかったのか。それは。エリカさん、いいの。私はお前に話しているんじゃない。高坂真由里に話しているんだ。こいつとは一度腹を割って話さなくちゃいけないと思っていたところで。
Chidori is going to be buff by the end of the season. She probably already is. Strong arms. As I'm about to try to interject again, another voice, oddly light considering the situation, cuts me off.
スオさんのために真由里を責めなくてもいいの。それは昨日私がたっぷりやったから。身の置き場がなかったよ。
Mayuri trails off and Ichigo-san giggles. That gets everyone besides me and Erika-san laughing along too.
それにしてもエリカってそんなにユリと馬が合わなかったっけ？確かにあんまり喋ってた印象ってないけどさ。いや、イチゴね、馬が合う合わないとかそういう問題じゃないですよ。ん？そうなの？猫にとってユリってのは毒なんだよ。
え？
知らないのか？花弁が最も毒性が高いが、葉も茎でさえ猫にとってユリは毒なんだ。
Are they making like a flower-based thing because it's called Yuri or what? I don't. Okay, by the time Ichigo-san cottons onto the fact that Erika-san is the cat and Mayuri is the lily in this metaphor, Erika-san's sharp edges have rounded out.
八重垣さんはスオのことをずっと守ってくれていたんだってね。ありがとう。
Taking the click of her tongue as our signal, we all set off walking again. This time Takasaki-san starts up a conversation without reservation. Every character has a namesake flower. Yuri equals Lily, as you said. Yeah, I heard that as she was talking and connected the dots.
そういえば、高坂さんと私が似ているという話だったけれど、どうかしら。演劇会の時は薄暗くてよく見えなかったけれど。私としては似ていると思うですよ。特に顔の輪郭や髪型とか。 雰囲気もどことなく夜離れしている感じだしね。そうかしら。
Takasaki-san cocks her head thoughtfully, but Erika-san chimes in to say that she has never thought they looked alike.
高崎さんは何というか凛としているけど、まゆりはほわっとしているというか。リッカさんの言うこともわかるけれど、体のシルエットとかは似ているような。
メガネの度が合ってないんじゃないのか。演劇界での王子役のすり替えも似ている千鳥だからちょうどいいって話になってただろうがよ。
まあ確かに背格好は似ているけれどね。ゆずりは先輩も私たちの作戦に配役の妙があったって言ってたしね。
I now understand exactly why Erika-san warned me before the play that there might be some surprises in store.
そう、八代先輩がそうだったのね。
Before stepping inside the hidden room in the library, I thought I saw Rika-san and Yatsuhiro-senpai discussing something. One of the questions I was still harboring is resolved, and I nod to myself.
これから向かう場所について再度確認しておく。正直あまり楽しくない話になると思う。それでもみんなは真実が知りたいんだね。
The Sasakis have new rivals threatening their twin position. I don't think they're threatened. It's fine. Yeah, at this point, please, for the love of God, let's stop postponing it. Just give it to me, because I'm just so annoyed. I want to know, of course.
もちろんだよ。ここまで来てなんとなくめでたしめでたしとか納得いかないよ。
まあ今更だな。
Mairi comes to a stop as the others voice their agreement, then turns her gaze on Erika-san.
八重垣さん、特に君には辛い真実と相手と向き合うことになる。言ったろ、今更なんだよ。
Her words are unflinching, but having known her this long, I can tell she's putting on a brave face. For what awaits us is...
では、先を急ごう。
What awaits you? She says this like she's driving home a nail, then sets off down the path, the crunch of her footsteps in the snow resonant with meaning. After following the path that leads from the secret lake toward the town, for a short while, we turn off onto a track that cuts through the forest. The entrance to the narrow path is cleverly hidden by trees. We walk along the winding trail for a while until, through the trees, we catch a glimpse of a brick building about the size of a small sanatorium. As we approach, the snow-covered path turns into a well-kept gravel drive, then a lawn, and eventually a flight of stone steps. The grounds contain a gazebo like the one at the academy, and beyond that, I see a beautiful snow-dusted garden dotted with stone statues. I admire the garden with one eye as we make our way up to the front of the two-story building. It's built in a traditional European style and uses both timber and brick. Carved angels look down on us from the entrance. Maeri doesn't knock or call out. She simply pushes against the heavy front door. Together we enter the mansion where Maeri passed the seasons. Oh god. They did the thing again. I mean, props to them for nailing the spatial placement of the sound, but I swear it sounded like someone just knocked on my own door behind me. Startled me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I should have read that. Come in. I see Erika-san's shoulders jerk at the sound of the voice from the other side of the inner door we've arrived at. I know that voice. The doorknob turns, the door opens, and standing there is... Yeah. Sister Basket smiles at us from the center of the small room, blending in with her surroundings as though she's standing in a still life painting. Her smile is different to the one she wears at the academy. I sense a hidden sadness behind it. Tearing my gaze away from her, I look around the high ceilinged room. There's an antique-looking table and chair, but it's two other things that draw my eye.
車椅子と天蓋付きのベッド。
They must belong to the owner of this room. Their faces blocked from view by the canopy, but from the lump under the covers, I can tell that the bed is occupied.
小声で話さなくとも平気です。深い眠りですから。
What does that mean? Is she drugged in some way? Sister Basket informs me, having followed my gaze. Noticing the figure lying on the bed, the others all exchange uncomfortable looks. The only one who remains unmoved is Mighty.
私たちがここに来たという意味、分かってくださいますね。
ええ。あの部屋を見つけてしまったのでしょう。
I nod and Sister Basket lets out a little sigh.
少し前から八代さんと小帝さんに連絡が取れなくなっていましたからね。こうなると予想はしていました。
She looks at each of us in turn, her gaze lingering a little longer on Erika-san. But Erika-san lowers her gaze, looking down weakly at her lap. No one speaks. Silence settles over the room like a layer of dust. I look to Mayuri and to Rika-san, then I let out a long breath and face Sister Basket.
図書室の隠し部屋にあった2つのことから、今まで起きた不可思議な事件の謎が解けました。その一つが学院の遠隔です。
遠隔？学院の歴史の本って伊豆に国もあったでしょ？
さらに詳しく記された遠隔よ。聖アングレカム学院が淡島進学校と呼ばれ、さらにその前身淡島保養所と呼ばれた頃のね。
淡島保養所？文献を読んでいたから淡島進学校のことは知っていたけれど、
遠隔には性修行で財を成した淡島宗一氏が一族に結核を患う者が出たことを機にサナトリウムを淡島保養所を設立したとあるわ。
それがなんで進学校に？
なんでも孫娘の死を契機に淡島宗一氏が洗礼を受けキリスト教徒になったことからとあった。この時の進学校ではまだ保養所としての側面は残っていたらしいわ。だから七不思議の原型が作られた。
Features? What do you mean? How is that related to the mysteries? Hearing Rika-san repeat my last few words, I ask her whether she's identified the strange commonality shared by the seven mysteries of Saint Angrekum.
七不思議の共通点って怖いことと七不思議の怪異と出会ってしまうと皆さらわれてしまうということですか？
I nod.
保養所で今まで仲良くしていた者たちがある日を境に消えてゆく。それを優しい嘘でさらわれるという形にして噂にした。
Okay.
そして保養所から進学校聖アングレカム学院になってからもその優しい嘘が歪曲され伝わっていったの。
And Sairi Kifune was caught up in that white lie.
学院で親元を離れて不安定になった生徒を一時つながりのある保養所へと連れて行ったことがあります。おそらくそれが。
Wait, so they were homesick? And that's why they were taken from school and moved to a local health resort? If they were homesick, why not just send them home? Okay.
歪み伝わった。もともと土壌として残っていたからのことなのですね。そういえば壁心のフックマンの緑色の服装は医療従事者を思わせます。
She adds that maybe that's a slightly tenuous link. I carry on with the story.
淡島保養所から淡島進学校へと変わり、淡島一族は学校経営を続けた。経営といってもこれは慈善事業のようなものだったのでしょう。 海外からも神父様を迎え入れ、ある時期に淡島家の娘と教会から招いた女才ジェリコ・バスキアが婚姻し、婿入りをする。
バスキアって。
しかし明治の末期、戦争を機に淡島神学校を経営していた淡島家は没落の一途をたどることになった。製紙工業から鉄鋼業など他業種へ手を伸ばしたためとありましたが、これがいけなかった。母体としての製紙工業も危うく、当然慈善事業のような経営をしていた進学校は閉校の浮き目に遭いそうになってしまった。
With a lot of boarding school stories, some students are there because their parents don't want or are unable to watch them at home. I guess, but if you have parents that are like that, would you be homesick? Like, if you have a bad relationship with your parents, it's not homesickness, then it's something else. The inability, that's something else. Being unable to watch over them, that's a bit of a different situation, I guess. Yeah. I tell them that it was at this point that the Basket family extended a helping hand.
婿としてきたジェリコ・バスキアが淡島家を継ぐこと、そして学院長職を得ることを条件に、祖国の一族からベネリという方を呼び寄せ、孫である淡島椿と夫婦にさせた。約束を守ったことでバスキア家は資金を調達し、製紙工業の立て直しを図り成功させた。そして進学校を再建。この時から淡島進学校は聖アングレカム学院となった。
I see. Maybe. I don't know. I still feel like if they really needed medical attention, it was a bit more than homesickness then. But okay. I look to Sister Basket for confirmation and she nods.
聖アングレカム学院と名を変え、その時から主の淡島家と従であったバスキア家との関係が逆転し、学院はバスキア一族が親族経営するものとなったのです。
それじゃダリア先生が学院の学院長なんですか？
いいえ、私は一族に名を連ねていますが、学院長は別の方が。ですが、長らく学院長として全ておられたのはアリウム・バスキア様。敬愛をもってマザーエルダーと呼ばれるお方です。
Upon hearing that name, a wave of cold sweeps over me like an icicle down my spine. Everyone else is shooting furtive glances over to the canopied bed, looking equally nervous. But my fear stems from elsewhere. For I remember the tree that grows against Shion Basket's grave. The red-berried elder. The tree from which Judas the betrayer was hung. Though some say that it was my namesake in Japanese, the redbud.
アリウム様、マザーエルダーには2人の子がいました。長男のアスター・バスキア様と長女のイベリス・バスキア様です。イベリス様は洗礼を受けはしましたがシスターにはならず、代わりにアスター様はイタリアにて学び神父様となられました。イタリアでの修行の後、学院へと戻り神父様として従事されたのです。
学院に男の先生がいたんだ。
ええ、とても素晴らしい神父であり教師でした。
Erika-san's noise of surprise speaks for all of us. Catholic priests are supposed to be celibate, so how could he have had a daughter? For a moment I didn't understand the issue because Orthodox priests are allowed to have families. But yeah, that's true. Feeling mine and Erika-san's gaze on her, Sister Basket answers with a conflicted look on her face.
アスター様は本当の父ではないの。 私は聖堂
Oh, oh, okay.
旧聖堂前に捨てられていたの。
バスキア教諭が。
とても優しく慈愛に満ちた方だった。私は父に憧れシスターの道を選んだのです。でもアスター様は
Sister Basket's words fade into the ether as though her voice has deserted her. An abrupt and chilling change comes over her.
バスキア教諭。
Her expression is pained, and I find myself at a loss for what to say to her. I can tell that whatever is keeping her from speaking is something deeply distressing. However,
バスキア教諭。
only Erika-san has the courage to look into her empty eyes. She remains silent, like time has come to a standstill for her.
この学院へ転入した時、正直自分は腐っていました。自分でこの学院へ来ることを望んでいたのに、あなたはそんな私へ何度も呼びかけてくれた。返事もろくにしない私へ何度も。そんなあなたに私は徐々にほだされていった。あなたが父を慕うように私もあなたを慕っています。だからどうか私から大好きなダリア・バスキアを奪わないでください。
That's a nice moment of vulnerability from Erika. Alright. Erika-san's words are like a confession. The life gradually returns to Sister Basket's blank stare until her eyes are once again brimming with the warmth we know her for. Sister Basket goes over to Erika-san and affectionately strokes her messy hair.
ありがとう。また私はあの時の記憶から逃げ出してしまうところでした。
Hearing that word, memories, I see my chance to connect the keys I've collected thus far.
バスキア教諭の養父であるアスター・バスキアとシオン・バスキアの間には何かつながりがあるのですね。
Yeah, it truly was.
ええ。シオンはマザーエルダーの長女であるイベリス様の娘。そして
Okay. She loses her voice again momentarily and presses her hands to her chest, clearly enduring something painful. Though her memories are of the distant past, the wound they left is still painfully fresh. Gushing blood, even.
私がシオン・バスキアを知ったのはリッカさんが標本の中から彼女の手紙を見つけてくれたことからでした。
標本、手紙。
She doesn't
手
know.
紙には学院の生活が描かれ、まるで私とマユリの春から聖母祭までの出来事をなぞり記したもののようでした。そして最後の手紙はシオン・バスキアではなくアミティエである貴船さゆりさんが聖母役に選ばれなかったことで責めたことを、亡きアミティエであるシオン・バスキアへ懺悔する言葉が記されていた。
貴船さんがシオンへ。
Sister Basket looks back on the past like she's watching the shadows of fish flit across the surface of a lake from deep below. While I know that I'm digging into an open wound, I have to speak my theory aloud.
シオン・バスキアは聖母祭のすぐ後であの旧聖堂で亡くなったのですね。
Her hands still pressed to her chest, Sister Basket nods, her eyes narrowed as though she's returned to that day.
ええ。風のとても強い日でした。私はまだ子供で、聖堂が火に包まれているのをただ見ているだけしかできなかった。しかし夜、聖堂内にシオンを呼び出したと貴船さんが伝え、聖堂の中にシオンがいることが分かり、でも火が強すぎて、
So it was an accident then.
みんな 火の中に飛び込もうとする貴船さんを抑えていると。まさか。
Sister Basket's expression crumples, and she nods jerkily, trembling all over as though she's reverted to the child she was that day.
助けに行った父まで煙に巻かれ、二人は聖堂で命を落としたのです。
貴船さゆりさんは自分のせいで亡くなったと思って、それで
She trails off, unable to verbalize the tragic events. Erika-san gently lays her hand atop Sister Basket's shaking one.
でもその二人が旧聖堂で亡くなったのなら少しおかしいことがあります。
おかしいことって？
Why is there a grave only for one of them, or what the heck's going on?
シオンさんとアスターさんがお亡くなりになったのなら、
Yeah.
なぜ旧聖堂跡のお墓にはシオンさんのお墓しかないのですか？
Everyone except Mairi looks to Sister Basket for an answer. I say that I assume it's because Aster Basket is interred in the Basket family plot. But why wouldn't Shion be as well then? Like, why is Shion like singled out then? I know that everyone is now wondering why Shion Basket alone was left to rest at the chapel.
その理由が真実の女神、そして始まりであり終わりの七不思議、アガペのタルパの秘密に関わってくる。
I swear, I think if I hear about Goddess of Truth or Talpa of Agape once more without being explained what the heck this is, I'm gonna go crazy. Like I feel just the sound of these words is sending me into a spiral. Just like stop saying those and explain what's behind them. I tell them. With everyone's eyes on me, I explain where my deductions have led me.
以前友人からタルパを調べてもらった際にイマジナリーフレンドの話を聞いたことがあります。
Okay, sure. I explain how it's common for children to have imaginary friends and that sometimes they can even endure into adulthood. A friend born from the loneliness of one's own mind that seems to have a will of its own. Sometimes they'll even offer words of counsel. This concept of an imaginary friend closely resembles that of a talpa. Talpa, tulpa, I don't know how to read this properly, but they say talpa, so I'll just say that.
それがお墓の話とどうつながるの？まさか幽霊みたいにシオンさんやアスターさんが出てきているとか。
Maybe in Sayuri's mind that would make sense if she was so devastated by the loss. Sorry.
違うな。もし幽霊として旧聖堂へ現れたなら、七不思議の名は旧聖堂の亡霊だ。タルパや真実の女神が出る幕はない。
I mean, it would be high time. If it's not now, then I don't know when we're gonna get answers, right? Catching Erika-san's look, I turn back to Sister Basket and I ask her about Allium Basket.
マザーエルダーは火事で息子さんとお孫さんを亡くされたことで記憶に齟齬が生じるようになったのではありませんか？
So it's Mother Elder that's the issue. I was thinking of Sayuri. The Talpa was the goddesses we made along the way. This is it.
白羽さんはすべて見抜いているのね。
Yeah, but yeah, see, this is something that I wouldn't have thought of. Like, I could have suspected maybe something being related to Sayuri because she's been present in the little pieces that we've collected along the way. But how do you figure out that there is a Mother Elder, that she was related to the people who died? There was more than one person who died in the fire, and that affected her. Like, I don't know how. But okay, alright.
そう。アリウム様は
That's fair.
アスター様と 溺愛していたシオンが亡くなったことで行けなくなってしまったの。
それって。
みんなが思っているほどの症状ではないわ。ただ最初は気鬱になっているだけだと思っていた。だから学院でのバレエ発表会や朗読劇、演劇会などに連れ出して癒そうとした。ところが
聖母祭で聖母役の生徒を見て、その少女がシオン・バスキアだと告げた。
シオン・バスキアを見た？だって彼女は火事で亡くなっているはずじゃ。
そうか。そこでイマジナリーフレンドタルパの話につながるわけか。
聖母祭を境にアリウム様はまるでまだ生きているかのようにシオンについて語った。白羽さんが話したことと違うのは、想像の上で語るのではなく、聖母役の生徒をシオンそのものだと思い込んでいるということなの。
The others are starting to understand. Hands covering their mouths, they look to Mairi and to the figure of Mother Elder asleep in the bed.
真実の女神の正体は、マザーエルダーにシオン・バスキアとしてさらわれた娘のことなのですね。
The story hadn't ended at that tragic conclusion. A heavy silence stretches between us as we contemplate the chain of transgressions born from the depths of grief. But then a different voice breaks through the silence.
違う。
小坂さん。
確かにアガペのタルパの正体はマザーエルダーでありアリウム様だ。けれど決してさらわれたわけではない。みんな望んでアリウム様の孫としてこの館に来た。
望んで？どういうことなの？
Interesting that she says we all, meaning that there's been multiple across time.
聖母役の少女をみんなシオンと思い込むわけではないのです。ただ症状が重くなる時期があり、聖母役の娘と面影が重なると。
One day after dinner, while my goddess of truth and I were lounging about in Sister Basket's yard, we spotted a fledgling tulpa of agape all on its own. Oh god, that text. Oh.
さらうのですか？
違います。私たちは聖母役に選ばれた生徒に事情を説明し、ひとときだけシオンとしてアリウム様の前で演じていただけないかと頼むのです。
I have a lot of feelings and thoughts about that, but okay, let's let them lay out the situation. Sister Basket tells us that Mother Elder's delusion that the girl is Shion never lasts for long. 2 or 3 months. Half a year at the longest. You take away those girls from their studies, from their peers, from whatever semblance of a life they're able to build in this prison of an academy. Not for long. Just for like 2-3 months, half a year at the longest. Really? Really? that makes a big difference at this age. Do their parents know? Is this approved? I have so many questions. Shion, return to me, my Shion. Yeah, probably. In return for acting as her granddaughter during this time, the student receives preferential treatment when seeking a place at the sister school or employment at the related company. Sure.
以前、さらわれることが名誉だと言っていたやつがいたが、あながち間違いじゃなかったってわけか。
昨年の春、聖母役を演じた高坂さんがマザーエルダーの目に留まり、彼女をシオンだと思い込んだ。事情を話し、何度かこの館に赴いてアリウム様と話してもらった。そしてひとときの間だけ休学してもらおうと。
Let me guess. The resemblance was too uncanny It persists to this day, and it doesn't give any signs of going away anytime soon. She looks so much like Shion, of course.
確かにあの写真
Here I
シ
do
オンさん
agree.
と高坂さんそっくりだった
She
ものね
is. She is. More than she is resembling Chidori.
まるで生まれ変わりじゃないかって思ったよ
And because of Mayuri's uncanny resemblance to Shion, Mother Elder's delusion, which would usually last no more than 6 months, persisted.
なるほどな。そこで最初の疑問に行き着くわけだ。なぜシオンバスキアの墓だけ旧聖堂の跡地にあるのか。
I don't know. I don't know if they thought the ending through that much. It's just an alternate thing.
Shion が生きていると思い込んでいる時にバスキア一族の墓に祈りを捧げに行った際、孫の墓を見つけたらことだからな。
I don't know if I can easily accept that, because what does that mean? Like, her delusions started happening way after they passed away, because the trigger was the fact that they passed away. So if Shion doesn't have her grave with the others as a consequence of the delusions, does that mean that her body was moved and this grave was made later there? They're going through extraordinary lengths to enable this delusion instead of trying to help this person. Oh god, I have so many I have so many feelings. All right. The illusion would be shattered and her heart along with it. Erika-san murmurs and we all look toward Mother Elder's sleeping form. Let me break this to you. Her heart is already shattered. It already is. You're just postponing the inevitable and making her think it's not shattered by kind of like taking her attention away from it. Oh god, okay. The story is over. Silence descends on the room again. Now that the truth has been revealed, should I ask that Mayuri be allowed to return to the academy? I also still have a question. What the heck was in that room? Because they reacted as if they found a dead body in that room. Like, what was it? They're not gonna give us an answer, are they? Or are we circling back to that? Because Suo did say that there were two things in the room, and one was the history, and then they went into all of this like family tree explanation, you know, stuff, and now we're right here. But did she mention the second thing? I guess she did not. Okay, or do I become complicit in this white lie so that Mother Elder can continue in her sweet fantasy that Shion is alive and well? Oh god. I understand that the intentions behind that are good. This will never lead to a good thing though. Never ever will this go in a good direction. This is just a recipe for just postponing the inevitable. They won't tell you. It was Sayuri's corpse. She committed suicide after Shion and Aster's. See, that's why I got the sense that it was something like that and that there was a suicide involved. But the question immediately after that is, why the heck is her body still there? Like, what? Don't you just take her and, like, give her the proper respect and put her somewhere? Like, why are you leaving her there? That's so creepy. And then you lock the door and like put the bookcase and like block it and whatever. And like children are coming every day in that library and they don't know what's behind it, the wall. And I'm like, how does this make sense? Oh. I guess it does like fall a little bit in line with maintaining this like delusion, but still, oh god. Because the one aware of the room can't bring herself to face the pain of losing her father figure again. Ay. I have a hard time contending with that, because while I do understand that person's pain, you're talking about Sister Basket, I suppose. This is not just about her. There's an actual soul there that perished. Doesn't she have family? Doesn't she deserve like a proper burial? Like what? What about her? I'm so stressed out. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh, there it is. At first, no one notices the voice, faint as the fluttering of an insect's filmy wings. But when it again quivers against my eardrums, I realize that Mother Elder is speaking.
はい、ここにおります、おばあ様。
Also, another thing, I haven't voiced it, but I've had this thought in the back of my mind. The spring episode ends with this, or like towards the end of it, there is this conversation or this exploration of the fact that Mairi and Suo being involved is not allowed. It goes against Christian values, whatever, and it's not looked good upon in the academy and so on. And it kind of leads you to believe, to connect the dots, that Mairi left in order to not cause trouble for Suo. That's kind of like what it tries, or like at least that's where I felt like it left me. And so what is this? Is this kind of like a sort of like blackmail, kind of like and since this is the situation, if you do this for us, then everything will be okay with Suo, and we're not gonna like take action in this direction or something. That's a little bit Mairi alters her voice to a softer, more feminine register as she crosses over to the bed and takes the old woman's hand.
顔を見せておくれ。
はい、おばあ様。
Mairi lifts the wrinkled hand to her own cheek. The old woman's gnarled fingers flutter over her forehead, her eyes, her cheeks, and her lips. Her eyes crack open slightly.
シオン、ずっとそばにいてくれたのだね。
私はずっとおばあ様のおそばにおりますわ。
アリウム様。シオン。パレード試験はどうでした？難しくてなかなか上手にできないとこぼしていたでしょう。
教えていただいておりますけれど、なかなか上達しません。でもバレエの授業は好きです。
そうお前の母のイベリスもバレエが苦手で、でも何度も練習して上手になったのですよ。
そうなのですか。では母に教えてもらいますね。
それがいいでしょう。
Mother Elder lapses into a coughing fit. Mairi fetches a jug, pours a glass of water, and holds it to her lips to help the old woman drink. It's such an intimate, familiar act, as though they truly are family. The sight of it moves us all. The old woman whose heart was broken by the loss of her son and granddaughter, and the girl who was betrayed by her own mother. The two of them have spent the seasons slowly fitting together as the missing pieces of their hearts. See, but this is so wrong! This is so wrong! Ah.
おばあ様、少し眠った方が。夕食は私が運んできますから。
ありがとう。お前は本当に優しい自慢の孫だよ。
Her eyes, as she looks at Mayuri, are filled with love, and I have to fight back the sob rising in my throat. Then Mother Elder's gaze slowly drifts toward me.
あなたはシオンのお友達。
With her gray-brown eyes, when her gray-brown eyes fall on me. Oh god. Sorry, I'm too rattled. I'm not paying attention to the text. When her gray-brown eyes fall on me, I see a sudden flash of recognition. Of resistance. Oh no, because she looks like Sayuri, right? Right? If Mayuri looks like Shion, So looks like Sayuri. Ah. Then she looks back to Mayuri and past her to Sister Basket standing behind her. Yeah, right? How curious! Aren't they supposed to be more or less the same age or something? Yet Dahlia has grown, but Shion is still like school age and she's still struggling with ballet classes. Okay. Smiling at Sister Basket, she lets out a long sigh. She's returned to reality. Tears slide down my cheeks at the realization that her blissful dream has come to an end. After fondly patting Mayuri's cheek, the light in her eyes dulls once again. Mayuri squeezes her hand in return, responding to the name Shion. But her eyes aren't seeing Mayuri. That's pretty. The pair of butterflies appear as though they've always been there. They flutter around the room as though searching for something. Butterflies, the symbol of my fear. Yet I sense no malice from them, but something like intimacy, even.
Shion. お前たちはそんなに近くに傍らにいてくれたのね。アスタ、父様。
The blue butterflies settle atop Mother Elder's chest. It's as though they're speaking to her.
ごめんなさいね。待たせてしまって。またみんなで花が咲くお庭で。
Her voice is barely a whisper. Mayuri presses her cheek to the old woman's chest, calling for her grandmother. But as her long sigh fades... Yeah. 3 blue butterflies flitter up from her chest. The goddess of truth and that selfless love called agape disappear from the academy, never to return.
庭を歩くことになっても。
I repeat a prayer I heard at grandmother's funeral, but the roiling emotions in my chest keep the rest of the words stuck in my throat. In a series where everyone is named after flowers, the Japanese motif of blue butterflies representing the afterlife fits in pretty well. Yeah, I think that's a pretty image. And a good metaphor for this particular instance as well. It works. I lay the angrecum flowers atop Shion Basket's grave, the flowers Sister Basket tended to in the greenhouse. How must she have felt during her frequent visits to Shion's grave? To come here, she would have to pass right by the remains of the chapel where her beloved father. Forcing my lips to quirk upwards, I pray for Shion and Sairi's souls. In the end, it was decided not to move Shion's body to the Basket family plot. Sister Basket made the case that she should rest beside Sairi Kifune, who had no relatives of her own. Oh, okay, sure. Still not a reason to leave her lying in that room. Like, excuse me. And her request was granted. After all these years, the two Amitiés are finally together. I chose to leave my Amitia partners, to leave Suo of my own free will. I don't regret my choice, even now. Even if I was merely running away, seeing my own mother back when she was kind to me, in Mother Elder. Grandmother looked so peaceful. It was worth it just to see that look on her face. If my being by her side was able to bring a little joy into her life of sadness, and yet... My choice wasn't the wrong one to make, but when it comes to life's choices, there isn't always a right option. Sometimes every choice is a mistake. I chose to leave her behind. Will she take me back now? Looking up at the elder tree, I pray that Suo will come find my true self, as she did before. Oh, cherry blossoms, that's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, I can come back. It's a scene to take one's breath away. The cherry trees lining the road turn it into a tunnel. Petals flutter down without sound, like snow falling on a winter's night, covering the ground, transforming the world. Rika-san says, and I smile and nod. I feel the same way. Her eyes crinkle behind her glasses and she stretches out her hands to catch at the falling petals. But the pale pink petals slip through her fingers like tiny fish. I watch as she stretches her arms out delightedly, rays of sunshine and cherry blossoms raining down upon her. We've come full circle. Yes, a whole year! A whole year. The petals twirl down to decorate her hair. And behind her, standing in the shadow of the trees, my stepmother watches me. I'm sure it's the anxiety I'm feeling over whether or not Mairi will be here that's called her forth. At Mother Elder's funeral, she said to me, "If you want us to be amitiés again, meet me in front of Shion Basket's grave 3 days from now." Seeing that dark blot marring the vibrant sea of pink, and aware that it's a manifestation of the weakness within my heart, I come to a stop. She urges me onward. but my stepmother's form only gets closer the further we walk along the carpet of petals, and I can't tear my gaze away from her.
ねえスオさん
Rika-san calls out to me
私た
joyfully.
ち3人のアミティエでよかったわね。え初めは3人1組ってギクシャクするしいろいろなことがあった。でも私とスオさんでもマユリと私でもスオさんとマユリでも今のようなきちんと前を向いた関係にはならなかったと思う。
She's right. As the falling petals brush gently against my cheeks, I think of Shion Basket and Sairi Kifune. If they had been in a group of 3, if they had had an Amitia partner like Rika-san with them, perhaps such a tragedy would never have occurred.
私はねスオさん今の3人でのアミティエが一番好きなの。
I feel that the recent change to the Amitia system is a legacy left to us by Shion and Sairi.
一人が倒れた時アミティエの一人が支えてくれればいい。 けれど寄りかかって2人とも倒れてしまったら私が2人とも抱き起こすわ。だからアミティエは3人でなくちゃね。
Okay, I see that.
そうね。
Her dazzling smile draws one back from me. Looming like a dark stain, my stepmother still watches me. But then suddenly, with a maternal smile that reminds me of the first time I met her, she disappears. Okay, that's nice. I'll probably never see her again. Because within me now, I have 2 others. Friends, lovers, family. My precious Amities. We pass through the pink tunnel toward the place we've yet to visit this spring. With each step, our memories together are woven into a tapestry. Memories that both warm and chill my heart, but my heart will no longer be in any danger of freezing over. I have faith. We walk up the gentle slope until we finally arrive at the clearing. The headstone protrudes from the ground like a gleaming white sword, a tree growing close behind it. The elder tree, Allium Basket's tree. And then, beneath the clear and boundless sky, she turns to us.
見つけてくれたんだね。
Cute. That's cute. Nestled in the embrace of the elder tree, her petals opening up to the blue sky overhead.
いつまでも私たちは一緒だ。
The floriography of the Angrecum upon her lips. She gives me a smile as bright as this spring day. All right. Oh, the art is really cute. That's really nice. What's wrong, Bea? What's wrong? The flower clip center in her side portrait really accentuate her beauty in that last CG. Yeah, it is a staple symbol, I guess, of hers. I guess each girl has like a thing like that. Oh, that's cute. What? Bea did not like the ride. Oh, that's so precious. Poor Jingo. If I have 2 moles, then you have to have 2 pigtails. Oh, what is that? Yeah, super pretty. Two endings left, yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, Shion basket. My socially awkward, nature-loving amitié. A girl as sunny as a spring day, her smile so sweet and pure gently enveloped my stony heart like soft moss.
ねえシオン
Oh.
なにユリこの白い花ってなんていう名前アングレカム私が好きな花よ私たちの学院と同じ名前花言葉は私たちアミティエを表す言葉よ花言葉はいつまでもあなたと一緒
When she said that with a soft smile upon her lips, I sent a silent prayer to God that it would be so for us. Okay, we get an updated main screen image. One ending for each of Ringo's new pigtails. Yeah. That's good, that's good. Okay. Right, next on the list in the guide that I'm using is Rika's End, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So we'll do that. Whatever that means. And then there's a grand finale, which I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's go. As pretty as this is. Quite a few new scenes are added, alright. Sorry, not load, but we need to start a new one, right? I'm just used to clicking load because that's what I what I do. But we need to start a new one. Wait, sorry. No, next is what I want. There it is. Okay. So. We say Rika-san to this question. Out of you and me, who do you think would look best in glasses? But if it's you and me, the option Rika-san wasn't there. But okay, sure. Rika is this choice here. Erika-san directs the question to me with her trademark feline smile.
メガネと言ったらリッカさんだもの。私たちがなんて選択肢はないわ。
Well, sounds like next time will be it. We'll cover everything. Oh wow. End of an era. And I still don't know what I'm doing after that, but we still have time to figure that out.
もしかしてスオさん私を褒めてくれた
Yes, she did.
ま、メガネって言えば委員長の代名詞だもんな。
そいつまで取るのはさすがに悪いか。
私って言えばメガネなの？紅茶とか合唱部とかほら結構あるじゃない。
ダメよエリカ、副会長様が困っているじゃない。
だから役職名で言うのはもしかしてからかっているのね。
Erika-san's laughter and Erika-san's protests reverberate around the room. Smiling amidst the warm atmosphere, I plucked the glasses from Erika-san's hands and passed them back to my immediate
そろ
partner.
そろ食べようぜ。
Okay, next. Okay, so what do we prefer? We like both. Both tea and coffee. Interesting, this is a Rika end, but we don't choose the Rika answer, which is tea, but okay. I like the tea Rika-san brews for me. And I like the coffee Yatsushiro-san would make for me. It's hard to choose between them.
紅茶も好きだけどコーヒーも好き。どちらかなんて選べないわ。
そう。
がっかりするなよ委員長。泣くなら私の胸を貸してやるぜ。
Against my chest, yes, of course, you would like that. Jeez, what is this joke? Erika-san protests that she's not going to cry, but...
紅茶だって言った方が良かったかしら。
Aww. It's been a great ride. I'm happy that we did this. I can't help but think that when I see my Amitia partner's shoulders visibly slump.
お昼も食べ終わったみたいだし、そろそろ
Okay, skip. Erika-san frowns over her teacup and I ask her about Tulpa's brush past it. We brush past it this time. I can get her involved in my own problems.
そうじゃないの。
皆まで言うな。あんまり褒められた趣味じゃないが、コミカド先輩からこいつも受け継いだと考えればいい。
She rubs at the furrow between her brows.
タルパって言えば、チベット仏教の図書を読んでいた時に知ったのだ。チベット語で霊的な化身を意味するトゥルパが正式名称だよな。
It was phoneticized into English as... I don't remember if it's Tulpa or Talpa, but okay, that one. She continues.
だが、タルパは怪異というよりも修行の中の産物だろう。身体と精神を追い込むと幻覚を見ることもある。そうだよな。
They say Tarupa, so I'm inclined to say the same because I keep hearing it, you know. My brain is like, yeah.
宗教における修行だけじゃない。あらゆる追い込み型の修練では何がしかの幻覚を見ることがある。タルパはそれが人に見えるってだけだ。
怖い話には向かないわね。
脳の作用だからな。
She lifts her teacup to take a sip but frowns when she finds it empty. Oh, sorry. We're done. Next. What should I do? Tell her it's to do with scary stories. Ah, this is about Rika. Okay, and this time we choose to flatter her? Yes. Flatter her.
その
Suspicion is palpable in her gaze. I stare back at her, nothing useful coming to mind until...
その髪留め素敵ね。
I blurt out.
ほう。ずっとそう思っていたの。青いお花綺麗だなって。
Yeah, but suddenly saying it after this many months is a bit weird.
ありがとう。
確かに委員長に合った花の髪留めだ。
エリカさん
Super effective, yeah, I mean, sure. Of course it will be super effective, but it's still a bit odd.
おいおい、なんで私には怒るんだよ。お世辞だって言ってないだろうが。
今言ったでしょ。
なんというか、髪留めを解いたらアン・ハサウェイそっくりだぞ。
お世辞がストレートすぎるわよ。
Erika-san's braids bristle in protest, but Erika-san just tells her she doesn't get her style of compliments.
つまり白羽は
Okay, skip. Oh, wait, what was this? The smile on her face still reminds me of my meeting partner who disappeared in the spring, okay, but this time that ray of sun brings a warmth to my chest, and then the line is, they killed themselves. Okay, great, okay, what? I forgot the context for this, what? The sudden outburst freezes me to the spot, and I stare intently into her face as though I might discern something from it.
自殺した。
My voice trembles as I await an explanation for this abrupt confession. The girl turns her almond eyes to me.
そう、衝撃の展開だったわ。まさか主人公が亡くなってしまうだなんて。
Takasaki-san tells me.
それって。
What are we talking about?
以前白羽さんから面白いとお墨付きをもらって貸し出された小説よ。もしかして聞いてなかったの？
She chides me, but her searching gaze betrays concern. Bowing my head, I apologize.
イズニックでやらなきゃいけないことを考えていたから、心ここにあらずという感じで。そう、失礼ね。
Her brow furrowed as she shoots a sharp gaze my way. I have to feel bad for focusing on my own worries while she was engaging me in conversation. She continues to glower at me as I shrink under her gaze. Then a smile lightens her features and she claps me on the shoulder, telling me she was joking.
気分を害してなんかいないわ。処置のエリカとアミテイなんですもの。読書中に話半分に返されるなんて
She's used to it. Oh boy, that was a bit of a whiplash, right? It's like, just completely out of context. You click next line you read is, they killed themselves, and you're like, wait. What are we talking about? Why are we in the plural? What is this? Yeah, okay.
でもごめんなさい。白羽さんは真面目ね。お昼をとってまたイズニクへ調べ物に戻るというところかしら。
When I nod in the affirmative, Takasaki-san clasps her hands before her chest.
白羽さんにおすすめしてもらった小説が読み終わってしまったの。また面白い本を紹介してもらえないかしら。
Ay. How about this? I hold the book out to her.
HP ラブクラフト？恋愛小説かしら。
And that's just a name. As she leans in toward me, tilting her head in curiosity, I notice my breathing has grown shallow. This girl is so much like Mighty.
でも表紙は私好みな感じだわ。
The faint smile that plays across her lips is startlingly reminiscent of her, but...
白桃の香り。
Peaches. The faint scent of peaches that wafts from her, perhaps a perfume, hammers home the fact that she is not Mighty.
この作家って有名な人なの？ええ、近代の怪奇。
Yeah, so not a love
小説で
story.
はかなり有名な方だと思うわ。
Safe to say.
そう、怖い話は好きだけど聞いたことがないわね。日本のものばかりしか選んで読んでなかったからかしら。
Her gorgeous glossy hair, so different to my own boring black hair, flutters as she tilts her head thoughtfully.
きっとエリカの耳に入ったら、なんだ、高名な小説家だぞ。知らないとか正気か？とか言われるわね。
I can't help but smile at her silly impression.
やっと笑ってくれた。ここ最近張り詰めた表情をしていたから大丈夫かなって。やっぱり白羽さんは笑っていた方が美人だわ。そんな私なんて謙遜しすぎるのも嫌味になるわよ。でもエリカって白羽さんみたいなタイプの方が好みなのかしらね。はい。ことあるごとに白羽がって言うのよ。エリカあなたのことが心配みたい。アミティエとして少し焼けてしまうわ。エリカさんが処置仲間同士の友情かしら。だから私もその仲間に入れてほしいのだけど。
I nod, telling her I'd be delighted if she joined our little book lovers club. But Takasaki-san frowns.
でも処置っていうには
まだまだ読んでない本が多すぎるのよね。抑えておくべき本20冊とかやってくれるなら頑張って読むのに。
They feel sad that she has this impression that she needs to earn her spot and stuff. She's already reading, just let her in the club.
本好きでも年代によって認める認めないがあるから、これというのはないのだけれど。
I think for a moment.
怖い話が好きなら怪奇小説や幻想小説に特化したらどうかしら。ジャンル問わずじゃなく狭めるわけね。エリカさんなら幻想小説も読んでいるだろうから合わせてくれると思うし、深い話ができたらきっと楽しいと思うわ。
The furrow still remains between Takasaki-san's eyebrows, but then...
そうよね。それじゃあこの本も読んでみる。あと何かおすすめはないかしら。
As she takes my hand, her expression abruptly transforming into a smile, I see Mayuri's shadow in her once again. It must be because I can feel her drawing close now that Yatsushiro-senpai has left me the key.
それじゃあ不月物語とか。これも代表的なものなのだけれど。素直に言うわ。日本のものも昔のやつには手をつけてないのよ。
She shakes her head, looking crestfallen, and the scent of peaches drifts from her again. The smell gently scrubs away Mayuri's lingering presence. The sweet fragrance is as different to Mayuri's citrusy scent as night is today.
エリカも白桃の香りだって言っていたわ。私声に出て。エリカも好きな香りだって言ってくれるの。それって。
That's cute. A vision of the two of them, close enough to breathe in one another's scent, pops into my mind, and I hurriedly shake my head to drive away the improper image.
ねえ白羽さん。
Oh, excuse me.
ねえ白羽さん。私ばかりお世話をしてもらうのは心苦しいわ。
I flap a hand in front of my face as though to physically wave away her words, but Takasaki-san puts an arm around my shoulders.
だから私も白羽さんの役に立たせて。
She commands me. Okay. In the end, I did ask for Takasaki-san's help with something, but it wasn't with searching for the elusive Shion basket. Instead,
そこまで。
I met her desire to help me with a request for ballet lessons. Ooh.
以前と比べるとだいぶ良くなったわね。本当？ジュテの際に手首足首に力が入りきっていないところが難点だけれど、形にはなってきているわ。
As she runs her eyes over my leotard-clad body, her expression serious, I reflect that my request dreamt up in haste was actually quite onerous.
シオンバスキアのことを調べているから、教員名簿を一緒に調べて。
In my hurry to come up with something, I hit upon Takasaki-san's specialty, and she readily agreed to tutor me in ballet.
今までの練習で何か質問はあるかしら？
Rika's route is so good that even Chidori was invited. I mean, it's a nice moment to see between the two of them. I didn't expect it to be so fleshed out, but I'm all for it.
手首や足首に力が入っていないとダメなのは見栄えが良くないからとか？それもあるけれど、一番の理由は怪我をしないためよ。バレエでの怪我のトップは着地での捻挫なの。力を入れていないと足が開きすぎて着地を誤って捻挫してしまうのよ。
I nod, impressed by her knowledge.
私の習っていた教室では着地での怪我の次に自主練中に同じく練習している子とぶつかって怪我をするのも多かったわ。
She importantly tells me that, even though it's just the two of us, we should still be careful. I can't help but smile at the way she puffs her chest out like a proud child. It's nice to see their dynamic get this development. Yeah, it's cute. We didn't really see much of this.
いえ、こうして高崎さんからバレエを教わることができるようになるなんてちょっと不思議で
For once, Erika is the one
嬉しくて
who has reasons to be jealous. Not the other way around.
転入してきてすぐはいろいろあって。
My smile doesn't leave my lips as her cheeks flush.
ごめんなさい
She raises her hands in mock supplication, but then quickly lowers them, blinking as she turns a very Erika-esque smile on me.
そういえば少し前、エリカから勧められてある映画を見たわ。
エリカさんからのおすすめもしかして
Given our current circumstances, I ask whether it was a movie about ballet.
ええ、赤い靴という映画よ。知ってる？
I nod. I don't know that one. It's an old movie that is still highly esteemed today, particularly interesting for the fact that it's based on the eponymous Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. I don't know the fairy tale either. In the fairy tale, the wearer of the red shoes must dance until their dying day. The movie follows a ballerina named Vicky through her performances.
勧められたから2人で見ようと誘ったけど断られて、一人で視聴覚室で見たのだけど。
She let Chidori watch movie alone? Why?
どうしたの
I question her. The way her brow furrows in perplexion makes me think of my grandfather's habit of biting his nails.
思っていたのと違ったのよね。まあ私のことを知っているからこそ勧めてくれたのだと思うけど。
バレエをしている女性が主人公だからよね
まあ主人公の一人だけど、いろいろ家庭の事情が複雑で、見ていて気分が良くなるものではなかったわね。
そう
I recall that the protagonist didn't have a particularly blessed personal life.
そもそも赤い靴って表題なのに、あの靴安っぽいピンク色じゃなかった？
I tried to recall scenes from the film. Maybe it was because I saw a remastered version, but I remember them being red as blood. I'm not sure what to say.
童話だと踊り死ぬのに、靴を履いたら足を失って死ぬなんて、そこも変よね。どうしたの？
高崎さんの話している赤い靴ってホラー映画の方の赤い靴ですよね
Did she mistake? Are there two movies with that title? What? The color of the shoes don't match movie ruined.
ええ、初めからその話をしていたのだけど。
She regards me with narrowed eyes as though examining something that irritates her. I quickly tell her I was thinking of a different movie.
勘違い？
同じタイトルの映画があって高崎さんが話してくれたのはホラー映画の赤い靴だけど私はイギリス映画の赤い靴だと思っていた
Did she watch the wrong movie? Erika, why the heck did you not watch it with...
イギリス映画？もしかして
多分エリカさんが勧めたのはイギリス映画の赤い靴だと思うわバレエがメインのお話だし
名作で感動するって言われたからあれって思ったけど
高崎さん怖いお話も好きだしね
ええそれもあるから私のために選んでくれたのだと思っていたわまあ面白かったからいいのだけど
Yet her expression remains irritated. When I gently prod her, she goes on.
今度は一緒に見ましょうって誘おうと思ったのだけどエリカよほどのことがない限り同じ映画を二度は見ないのよね
Erika, I am super disappointed. What the heck?
時間は限られている有効に使わなきゃなとか言って本なら気に入ったら何度でも読み返すくせに
I think watching movies that you want to show your loved one with your loved one is a wise use of your time. What are we talking about? Erika. Erika's such a weirdo. She moves as though to bite her nails, then abruptly stops herself. I wonder whether someone told her to break the habit. But there's something else I'm wondering too.
私と一緒に見ましょうって誘ったら失礼かしら。
Although I'm not sure how she feels about me, I think of Takasaki-san as a friend, so I'd love to watch a movie together with her.
名作だって言ってたし、一人で見るのも。
My voice comes out unexpectedly loud and Takasaki-san looks at me with wide-eyed surprise.
なに？
もしよかったら高崎さんの予定が合えばで良いのだけど。ご一緒にその赤い靴を見てはダメかしら。私ももう一度見返したいし。
My throat is dry from nerves and my voice comes out hoarse and scratchy. Seeing the blank look on Takasaki-san's face, a wave of regret washes over me.
それいいわ、白羽さん。
Heat flashes through me as she warps her arms, as she wraps, not warps, as she wraps her arms around me in a hug. I'm painfully aware of the feel of her body through our thin leotards.
エリカも白羽さんが一緒に見るなら来るって言うだろうし。
Yes, out of jealousy. This is your fault, Erika. Who recommends a movie for 1948 and anyway without making sure they have a working copy? That is true, that is true. Well, if they're planning to watch it, it means that the school has the copies of both movies. Because Chidori already watched the other one, right?
そうね。エリカさんも一緒に。
Of course, I have nothing against Erika-san, but even with how antsy her closeness is making me, I still feel a little pang of regret that it won't be just the two of us. Wait, is this the Rika end or is this the Chidori end? What is happening? What are we doing?
高崎さんともっと仲良くなりたかったのにな。
Not that I dislike this, I'm all for this.
白羽さんが一緒なら来るっていうのも、それはそれで尺よね。
Hey, excuse me.
そろそろ離れた方が。
Harem
高崎さんも嫌だろうし。
ごめんね、来やすかったわよね。
そんなこと。
花火師さんに怒られちゃうものね。でもバレエの映画って結構踊る上で役に立つのよ。主人公の演舞を自分が踊っていると仮定してみながら、こう、ちょっと上手に言えないわね。
Well, this is turning into a movie party now.
俯瞰で見るですか？
そうそう、その俯瞰よ。別の視点で見られるから役立つの。
I can't tear my eyes away from her soft smile, yet at the same time, the words send a ripple through my heart. Detached. I wonder whether in my search for Shion Basket I've been taking a detached approach. Or have I been getting emotional?
感情的になっていないわけがないわ。
It's related to Mayuri. No matter how hard I try to remain cool and logical, I haven't been able to keep my emotions out of it.
どうしたの？
高崎さんから大切なことを教えてもらったわ。
She gives me an odd look.
まあいいわ。白羽さんの役に立てたのだったらよかった。
Then she flashes me a boyish grin.
もう少し練習に付き合ってくれる？
もちろん。
She says with a smile, like a sunny spring day that reminds me of Mayuri. Oh, cute, cute. Alright, here's the next scene, but I'm gonna make a run for the bathroom because I'm bursting. Sorry, I was waiting for the scene to end. That was much longer than I expected. I will be right back with you. Alrighty, here I am. Okay, Rika is sleeping. What's happening? Rika-san's gentle breathing is the only sound in the otherwise quiet room. Looking at the clock, I see that it's already past midnight. Closing the book I've been reading, I place it beside my pillow. I know I should go to sleep, but go to sleep, don't go to sleep. Okay. Interesting that this is a choice. It seems that we have to not go to sleep. Okay. Careful not to make too much noise, I sit up and adjust the reading lamp beside my bed. Then I pull a small paper bag out from my bedside table. Inside is an elastic hair tie and some woolen yarn. I stare at the orange and yellow threads, then close my eyes and picture the finished product. Okay, I can skip now. Okay, it's okay, Erika-san showed me how. Hey, Bali Plushie! Picking up the crochet hook, I slowly get to work under the dim lamplight. Okay. We just finished the, what is it, the good end? And earlier, and now we are embarking on the Rika end. So yeah, I guess that was quite a lot. I don't know if it's the biggest part. I'm not sure what to expect from the grand finale, if it introduces like some extra details there, but I guess the mystery, most of it has already been cleared for us tonight. Yep. I start to daydream just like I do when working in the library. Ah, okay, I can skip now. So, what was this? Out of everyone in the class, you think Erika looks best in the uniform, right? Okay, I think you look good in it, Takasaki-san. This is the choice now. I feel pressured by her earnest gaze.
Takasaki-sanの方が似合っているように思うわ。
I say. Takasaki-san makes a face like a lifelong vegetarian who's just been asked whether she likes tomatoes, then flashes me a stiff smile.
ありがとう。でも今はエリカのことよ。質問をはぐらかすのはフェアじゃないわ。
Well, I was glad that things were clarified and that Mairi was back and the trio was reunited. That was good. I liked that. Although I tried to voice my genuine thoughts, it didn't work for me like it always did for Yatsushiro-senpai. As I think of the older girl, Takasaki-san keeps prodding me to say how good I think Erika-san looks. Okay. Here we say that we are fine. I wipe my hand across my forehead. Ah, it's when she's reacting poorly to all the insects and stuff. I see. Erika-san looks confused. Perhaps to protect the specimen's house within, the temperature of the room is set low enough that it actually feels a little chilly. The girl in the seat in front of me turns and nonchalantly hands me the slim box. Okay, this we have read. Takasaki-san looks at me, eyebrows raised. I'm not really hungry, I'm assuming. Yes, we're doing this. I'm too nauseous to even accept the bag of food. I tell them.
おい、それじゃまだ保健室で寝ていた方が。
だいぶよくはなっているから。でもまだ食欲がなくて。
Erika-san scratches her head. I feel guilty knowing she brought lunch especially for me.
でもせっかく持ってきたのだし、やっぱり。
別に私に気を使う必要はない。病気になっても食欲が落ちたことはなかったから、みんなそうだと思っていたよ。
みんなエリカと同じではないのよ。
いや、マジでそうだったよな。 すまん。
I'm sure Takasaki-san was only trying to rib her a little, but Erika-san seems disproportionately despondent. We both rushed to cheer her up.
いえ、そこまで気持ち悪いとかではないの。まだ少し食欲が湧かなくて。でも、もう少ししたらきっと食べられると思うから。
そうよ。別に今すぐ食べなくてもいいんだし、無駄にはならないわよ。
I nod eagerly and Erika-san scratches her head.
そうか。それじゃ一応渡しておくぞ。
With that, she passes me the paper bag.
ねえ、私たちの部屋で休まない？
Okay, we can skip here. You can pull the wool over the eyes of a pro bluffer. I promise I will make fun of you if it's an embarrassing book. Let me see. Put her off the scent by saying it is embarrassing, or answer honestly. We are answering honestly this time. I quickly rack my brain for how to respond. If I admit to bringing the almanac, I'll simply draw criticism for breaking the rules. But she probably won't figure out my true intentions.
新しい年間だから会長として書き込もうとしていただけと言えば。
No, we only record major events in the almanacs, and there's nothing like that currently going on.
無理に聞き出そうとするのはかわいそうですよ。
あ？
スオちゃんも女の子です。恥ずかしい本の一つも読みたくなることがあって当然ですよ。
Embarrassing books. Erika-san scratches her head, mulling this over.
だな。悪い。白羽のことだから濡れ場が多い小説でそれを見られたら恥ずかしいってとこだろ。無理に。
違います。
Deciding that there's not much point in continuing to hide it. Okay, I can skip here. Arriving in the entrance hall at the scheduled time, I call out to the girl running her hand over the banister.
スオちゃん。
Hearing my voice, she immediately comes running over, reminding me of a little kitten, pattering over to its mother. I smile. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
どうしたのですか？
Bingo. Cuteness.
いえ、なんでもないの。
Little
遅れて
kitten.
ごめんなさい。
待ち合わせの時間より10分早いですよ。
Not having a watch, I hadn't realized I was early. Looking around, I ask her where our fellow investigator is.
エリカ先生はお越しにならないですよ。
急な要件が入ったの？
まあ、休養といえば休養ですが。
She seems reluctant to say more. When I tilt my head at her curiously, she narrows her eyes and informs me that it was her nuisance of a sister's fault.
いちごさんの？
実はですね、寄宿舎に戻った姉が何を思ったのか急に模様替えを始めたのですよ。
I wait for her to continue.
ガタガタと家具を移動させているうちにですね、ルイーズがいなくなってしまったのです。
Louise? What or who is Louise?
ルイーズ？それって。
スオちゃんもご存知の通り、姉の
Ah,
飼っているカエ
frog.
ルのことです。
I wasn't aware, but I nod anyway, not wanting to derail the conversation.
姉と一緒に部屋中ルイーズを探していたのですが、そこへバスキア教諭が訪ねてきて。
Are you in trouble? I feel like... Are you allowed to have that?
いなくなったルイーズを一緒に探してくれることになったのです。
そう、バスキア教諭もご一緒に。
もともとバレエの補習に来なかった私たちをおっと脱線しましたですね。とにかく一緒に探してくれる運びとなったのですが、なかなか見つからず、そこへ私を呼びに来たエリカ先生が。
I can tell where this is going.
エリカさんが手伝うと言ったのね。
ですです。なので
This.
ルイーズの捜索はみんなに任せてスオちゃんの助っ人にやってきたのです。
I guess I can have a frog. Yeah, it seems so. Alright.
私の方は後回しにしてもいいのに。
大丈夫ですよ。あっちには探偵が一人いますからね。今回は私が探偵役をしますですよ。
She beams at me and I clasp her hand, sorry, gratefully, warmed by her kindness.
まあリサが逃げてないので
そのうちケージに戻っているでしょうしね。
Who's Lisa? Do you have more than one frog? What? The life of the Sasakis probably looks like one big skit. Yeah, I'm assuming so. Ichigo-san's murmur brings back memories of Halloween. Lisa and Louise. Those were the names of the creepy twins from The Shining.
ハロウィンで仮装したキャラクターの名前をつけたのね。
Although it wasn't really that long ago, it feels like an age. I'm happy to know that it's a special memory for the Sasakis as well as for me.
それではスオちゃん、
So they haven't had them for forever. It's like a recent addition. I see.
白羽、まずはどこを調べる？
What is this voice? What is happening? Ringo-san affects a low voice. I stare out at the snowflakes dancing silently through the air like feathers on the wind.
白羽。
Hearing someone call my name behind me, I turn around to greet my fellow detective.
悪い。待たせちまったようだな。
Is it the same voice actress? Can she actually do these really two distinct voices? Or what's happening here? What? She apologizes in the same affected tone as earlier. I warn her that Erika-san wouldn't be pleased if she overheard her.
そうですかね。調べ物には探偵が必要ということで、車椅子探偵のエリカ先生の真似をしてみたのですが。
Was it a bad impression? She asks.
逆よ。似すぎているから怒られるかなって思ったの。
Okay, so they probably borrowed Erika's voice actress for that. But it's like... It's more than... It's over the top compared to how Erika usually speaks, too. I tell her.
なりきることで新しい発見があると思うのですけどね。スオちゃんは経験ないですか？
It's Ringo Ichigo's VA? Wow. Yeah, that's super impressive. The things voice actors can do with their voices. Jeez. Yeah. She's got me there. I often ask myself how the protagonists from movies or novels would approach a problem and run through their thought processes myself. When I don't answer, Ringo-san gives a satisfied nod. Then, donning Erika-san's voice again, she asks me how things went on my end. Yes, for the sisters as well. It's great. It's wow, yeah.
学院に残っている3年生に血まみれメアリー事件について尋ねてみたけれど、あまり収穫はなかったわ。
I do sense the similarity at times, but still, it's clear. This is Ichigo, this is Ringo. It's like when it's just the voice, you can't really confuse them, even though there might be like a little smidge of like, okay, this is kind of similar here and there. But still, woof.
こっちは2年生を重点的に聞き込みをしてみたが、やはり目新しい発見はなかった。なんというか、口が重すぎる。
Her imitation is too on point. Stifling a laugh, I tell her that I had the same
確
impression.
かに大勢学院を去ったのだから口が重いのもわかるけれど、なんというか奇妙な感触を受けたわ。
Oh, I just realized one thing that we were not explained in any way, or at least I didn't feel like I was. I received an explanation for it. It's like, how the heck were Suo and Mary talking through walls? Why were they talking through walls? I guess I can let that go.
それは私も感じたよ。なんというか、罰が悪い風というか、叱られる前の姉を思い出す。
Smiling at the mention of the other Sasaki, I nod, glad to know we're both on the same page.
だいぶ前に起きた事件っていうなら記憶にないでうなずけるが、たかだか1年前の事件だ。こんなに事件の話を聞くのが面倒だとは思わなかったよ。
ごめんなさい。私が付き合ってもらったから。違うですよ。 今のは愚痴じゃないです。
Breaking character, she rushes to reassure me.
確かに意味事ですが、こんなに口が重いのはおかしいですよ。今まで七不思議の事件がありましたけど、もう少し細部だとか噂話、尾ひれのようなものだってささやかれていたです。それなのに血まみれメアリー事件だけは皆一様に同じことしか口にしないのは奇妙ですよ。
She's right. When I spoke with the second-year students in the clubhouse, they all relayed the exact same story as though reading from a script.
どうしたら。
こんな時こそ第六感だぜ、白羽。
What the heck?
私のスパイダーセンスがささやいているのさ。ある人物へ話を聞けってね。
When I ask her who, she scratches her head in a perfect imitation of Erika-san and tells me she's talking about the inner circle.
今までは当たりをつけず不特定多数の相手に話を聞いていたが、ここからは個人的につながりを持っている相手に話を聞くってことさ。
Yeah, she's having the time of her life with this, for sure.
それって
料理部の先輩方に話を聞いてみる。密な知り合いなら胸筋を開いて有益な情報を漏らしてくれるかもしれない。だろ?
I nod in agreement with Ringo turned Erika's idea. Ringo turned Erika. I lost it at hearing Spite this sentence. Oh, sorry. I didn't finish the sentence. My bad. I nod in agreement with Ringo turned Erika's idea and we set off on our mission. Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you. That would be useful. Wall Yuri. For a moment I was like, what are we talking about? Ah, I mean, yeah. Okay. For a while we walk in silence. The only sound is the satisfying crunch of snow beneath our
テ
feet.
スト中のしんとした教室の中、鉛筆の書く音だけが聞こえるサラサラとしたあの音、好きなんですよね。
I never thought to compare it to that. Interesting. Now I won't be able to get that out of my head next time I'm crunching the snow. Waliri is something even I haven't explored yet. Oh, okay. I smiled. The soft sound had conjured the same image for me.
信じてくれないかもしれないけど、
はい。
僕も同じことを考えていたよ。
Okay, sudden loud suo. What's happening? I attempted to emulate Yatsushiro-senpai. Ah, okay. Ringo-san beams, telling me I'm a dead ringer. Then she dons her own feline smile.
いい考えだと思ったんだがな。
She goes back to aping Erika-san.
桜木先輩に会えたのは良かったけれど、
美に入り細に入り語ってくれたから細部が知れたのは上々だ。だが正直新たな情報ってやつはなかった。
当時の3年生、料理部からも辞めた生徒が出たと話していたわ。
部活か。そっちでつながりが得られそうな気がするな。
辞めた3年生の共通点、どうして辞めることになったのか、その経緯を調べていたけれど、辞めた生徒たちの人となりを調べてはいなかった。
役に立ちそうかい？
ええ、十分な探偵役だわ。
My compliment makes her bashfully scratch her nose with the hand that isn't holding mine.
よかったです。エリカ先生になりきった甲斐があったですよ。
As she smiles proudly, I thank her again, feeling incredibly lucky to have a friend who shows me such care and affection.
本当にこの学院に入学してよかった。
The unexpected Yuzu Erika arc we didn't know we needed, yeah. Though my time here has come with its fair share of anguish, I've gained something truly irreplaceable. Oh, I can skip here. No, okay. I want to make sure I put her idea to good use. Squeezing her warm hand in mine, I think about our conversation with Sakuragi senpai.
確かに辞めた3年生たちの共通点を見つける作業をしていなかった。
I firmly believe that you can put Ringo in any scene and it would be elevated tenfold. She's amazing. Yes, I agree with that. I love Ringo. Perhaps they were members of the same club? In which case...
確か桜木先輩が最後に言っていた。学院にとって損失だったって。
At the time, I thought she said this simply because so many students had left the academy, but perhaps she used that phrasing for another reason. For example, because many of the students belonged to the same club, maybe the cooking club.
いや、でも。
何を悩んでいるのですか？
When I explain my thoughts, she puts a hand to her chin and narrows her eyes thoughtfully.
なら、もっと詳しい人に話を聞く必要があるようですね。
それって、
当時、血まみれメアリーを探っていた人物。
I sent her a concerned glance, wondering if she's referring to Yatsushiro senpai.
違いますですよ。血まみれメアリー事件を調べていたのはゆずりは先輩だけではないですよね。
コミカド先輩も調べていた。つまりコミカド先輩のアミティエ、萩原先輩に話を聞こうってことね。
ゆずりは先輩のアミティエは学院を去っていますが、コミカド先輩のアミティエは在籍してますからね。
Her index finger strokes my palm between our joined hands. I'm about to say we should go speak to her at once when I'm interrupted. We're already back at the dormitory building. Ringo-san signals for me to be quiet, then stands stock still, straining her ears. She tilts her head, focusing her senses toward the forest. Then a scream rings out, making the hair stand up on my arms. That was...
はじめの声はエリカ先生だったです。次の声はりっちゃんさんでした。まあ、エリカ先生が手伝っているのだから、副会長様が手伝わないわけが。
やっぱりリッカさんの声。
In response to my fearful question, Ringo-san smiles.
ルイーズが見つかりました。
Oh! She says, the frog. But why would that warrant a scream? I go in expecting her to be as reticent as the other upperclassmen, but...
ええ、あなたになら話してもいいでしょうね。
Perhaps because of Ringo-san and Yatsushiro senpai's past relationship, she seems happy to talk. After offering us a cup of coffee, her eyes take on the faraway look of someone gazing toward a distant horizon just before dawn. Then...
いいわ。私が知っていることなら何でも。
Her gaze refocuses and she opens up.
八代さんからあまりお話を聞いていないけれど、コミカドさんからは調査をしていて、その進捗を聞いていた。お願いします。わかったわ。あ、冷めないうちにどうぞ。
I wonder whether the coffee was left behind by Komikado senpai. As we sip our drinks, we listen to Hagiwara senpai tell us everything about the incident she heard from Komikado senpai.
コミカド先輩は随分と綿密に血まみれメアリー事件のことを調べておられたのですね。
はじめは八代さんが7人の上級生が一時に辞めた件を調べていたの。それにコミカドさんが加わって、辞めた生徒が血まみれメアリーの儀式をしていたことを突き止めたのですね。
At my words, Hagiwara senpai pulls a sour face. Ringo-san looks over at me. It's obvious to both of us that she's holding something back.
すみません。何か言いにくいことがあるようにお見受けしましたが。ごめんなさい。あの時のことを思い出してしまって。血まみれメアリーの儀式をしたせいで3年生が辞めたという話が出て、八代さんのアメティエも学院を去ったの。
I wonder whether this is why the older girls were so unwilling to talk. But that doesn't make sense.
確かにゆずりは先輩のアミティはいなかったですものね。
It may not be a particularly happy topic, but was it really something so taboo? Unless...
八代先輩のアミティエも
血まみれメアリーの儀式を行ってやめてしまった。だから八代先輩が後からコミカド先輩の調査に協力したと。
I voice my speculation out loud, but Hagiwara-senpai shakes her head. So what is it she doesn't want to say? Although she said she'd tell us everything, Hagiwara-sensei? Hagiwara-sensei? I think senpai. I think they that's a mistake. Anyway. Has now clammed up just like the other upperclassmen, her expression grim.
八代先輩のアミティが辞めたということが口を重くしていたことではないの？
It's something that happened over a year ago, so why is getting her to talk about it like getting blood out of a stone?
嫌な予感がするわ。
The occasional gust of chill wind that whips through the quiet room only turns my insides colder.
萩原先輩、どうかお話ししてはいただけませんでしょうか。よろしくお願いします。
So caught the Erika sensei brain rot. I think it was just a mistake. Ringo-san bows her head low. Flustered, the older girl tells her she doesn't need to do that.
そうね。もう終わった話だものね。
She sounds like she's trying to convince herself as she gives Ringo-san a slightly pitying look, then turns to me, pinning me with her sharp gaze.
これは当時のことよ。今は誰もそんな風に思ってはいないけれど。
Her preamble plants a seed of unease within my cold gut.
辞めていった3年生たちなのだけど、血まみれメアリーの儀式を無理やりやらされたという噂が広がったの。
I hear that woman's laughter in my ear.
やらされた？自分の意思でなく？
ええ。それで根も葉もない噂なのだけど、儀式を行わせた首謀者がコミカドさんだとまことしやかに流れたのよ。
そんな、コミカド先輩が？
コミカドさんが儀式を無理やり行わせたことで、結果的に3年生たちを辞めさせたのではないかって。
How could the kind Komikado senpai I knew do such a thing? I can't quite wrap my head around what she's saying. But there she is. Not in my head, not in my mind, but right before my eyes. I can see the ghost of my stepmother turning toward me, her lips contorted into an unpleasant sneer. The red lips of the ghost gleam as she laughs, so vivid it's like she's really there. I look down at the ground, feeling sick to my stomach. Alright, cool. So... I guess we've done that too. Bless you.
誰か私の噂話でもしてんのかな?
Okay, and we are able to skip again. I think what I'm gonna do is go to the next point, right, since there's a new scene. But these seem to be quite lengthy and stuff, so I think I will just save here for tonight. I think this is alright. It's a bit shorter than usual, but I'm also quite tired, so I would appreciate a shorter stream today. And this leaves us with some stuff to do next time, so it's not that short, I guess. Yeah, I think it's a good split. At least from what Chidori was estimating earlier in the chat. Yeah. Yup. Here I am. Alright, so this has been that. We will continue next time. It's interesting that we get such extended extra scenes with other characters. We get to see a bit more of them, like we did with Chidori and Ringo, so I'm curious if we get that with more of them. Oh, thank you. It's the one that eats until it gets sleepy. That's so cute. And the black parts are kind of like velvety, like it's an actual fabric thing. It's not just print. It's so cute. Yeah. I love this hoodie. Fell in love with it the moment I saw it. Oh, and it has tiny pandas on the sleeves as well. I think I showed this in the past as well. So cute. It's over soon. Yeah, right? Yeah, have to come up with a plan for afterwards. It's so weird in a sense because it feels like for the longest time I knew exactly what we were doing, and now we're in the position to be like, oh, it's all done. It's done. Yeah, eh? All good things come to an end eventually, and that opens up the space for the beginning of another journey. Yeah, so we'll see what that is. For now, this week we're covered. We're gonna finish Flowers on Thursday. Yeah. It's been a nice ride though. I'm very happy that we did this, and I'm very glad to share this with you. Stardew Valley is always an option. I don't remember anything from last year. I'll think about it. I have also like a little list of suggestions that were left in the suggestions chat in Discord. I'm considering some of those as well. I'm also looking into what else I have in my Steam library. Maybe I can do something there so I don't have to buy something new. There's a new Zelda game that came out. I was also pondering if that could be an option. But I feel like maybe I do still want to do something that's more story-based. I'll think about it. We'll see. Maybe we can do like a tiny story thing in the meantime before we decide for something a bit longer. That can also be a thing. But yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out. We can chat about it in the server and come up with something for next Tuesday. For now, we're covered, like I said. So I will say goodnight. Thank you for joining me, and see you on Thursday with the grand finale, I suppose, of this super nice journey that we have been on for the past almost half year, I want to say. Yeah. That's nice. Very nice. All right. Night. Take care. Thank you again for joining. You are lovely. And see you Thursday.